Street sweeper, street sweeper, 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 sweeper. BikeBlogger here. Topic of the day. It feels real nice out today. It's I don't know, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Topic of the day, tip of the day. Bicycle fit, bike fit. Talked about this before in a previous video, but I wanted to give you a quick tip here. What if you are between bicycle sizes? Let's go this way. Bike commuting to work today. Let's see, I can cut through. No, not there. I think I missed it. There was a spot somewhere back there I could cut over to the next street. I guess we'll just go this way today. That's okay. What if you're between bike sizes? So say you're like me. I'm between bike sizes usually. I'm 178 centimeters tall. So often I'm between bike sizes, usually a medium or a small, I think. It depends on the brand. Every brand of bike has their different way of measuring stuff. Go through here. So some of the more racy brands, like cycling brands that most normal people wouldn't buy, at least as a first bike, like oh, I don't know, there's some fancier foreign brands like Look and stuff that are European brands or whatever. I think Bianchi is, did I pronounce that right? I think they also have sort of a different sizing than the other bikes, the other big brand name bikes like Specialized Giant, Trek, and then all the others like Surly, the QBP, I think is the brand name. Anyway, so if you're between bike sizes, how do you figure out which one to go with? Well, it's a compromise. It's always a compromise. The tip is to measure your wingspan. That is, from the tip of your finger on one arm to the other arm. Spread your arms out like a T when you're standing up and measure from fingertip to fingertip. And then compare that measurement to your pants inseam. That is like, no, actually, there's a couple different ways you can do it. I guess measure your wingspan and then compare that to your overall height. Is that right? Am I thinking this right? Oh my gosh! I'll leave the tip in the video description below. Oh boy, BikeBloggers. Wasn't prepared for this video. Yeah, because I believe it is your total height. Just looking at my arms are probably at least 2.5 feet, 3 feet long each. Well, anyway, measure from fingertip to fingertip and then compare that to your overall height. So if your wingspan, as I've been talking about, is longer or a bigger measurement than your overall height, that means you have a longer torso than you do have a lower body, your legs. So in that case, we're talking about reach, which is reaching down, grabbing at the bars, versus, you know, your saddle height. Personally, I think reach is the most important thing. Watch out for the pedestrian. So if you get a bike that's too small for you, what's going to be the problem? The problem is going to be you're going to feel more cramped on the bike. Specifically reach. You're going to be more cramped up. The key measurement you want to look for is the top tube effective length. Now that's the horizontal length, basically, of the top tube, parallel with the ground. And that'll help you figure out sort of what kind of reach you're gonna have on the bike. And you know, obviously a bigger bike's gonna have a longer reach. Now, the reason why I say this saddle height isn't a big issue is because you can adjust that a lot. if you have an uncut, or if you're buying a new bike, the fork, you can raise it up and down, the handlebars. I should mean, you can raise the handlebars up and down, so that's not a problem. Now, if you're buying a used bike, be very careful, because if the fork has already been cut a lot, so it's pretty slammed, by that I mean it's like the handlebars are down as far as they can go, relative to the ground, pretty much, you're not gonna be able to adjust that. So that can be a big problem when buying a used bike. You gotta watch out for the handlebar height off the ground, basically. Street sweeper, street sweeper, streeper, sweeper, street sweeper days, stripper days, stripper days. Let's go this way. So yeah, for me, I'm about 1 to 1. By that I mean my wingspan is like equal to my height, so that doesn't help me. Basically, I'm between bike sizes, and my torso, my upper body is just as long as my lower body. So there, it's a compromise. I gotta just decide what I wanna do. Like, do I want to be leaning down more and reaching out further like this? Or do I wanna be more upright, kind of more cramped, I guess I should say, on the bike like this? And it depends on, you know, what bike size I go with. Of course, a smaller bike frame is gonna be lighter weight. Difference could only be may only be like 30, 40, 50 grams. We're not talking a lot between size to size to size. But your weight when he's out there, you gotta be very careful with the weights, because manufacturers are often plus or minus 10%. They often specify the extra small frame size, and they often, if you're looking at a frame set, they may forget to include the weight of the fork. And they'll only give you the weight of the frame without the fork. So they don't specify these things, and you got to assume they're leaving stuff out to make it look like it's lighter weight than it really is. Anyway, back to bike sizing up the hill. So I actually prefer to go one size down versus up. It's easier to adjust, really. So if you want a quick and dirty answer, you think you're between bike sizes, I would go for the smaller size bike, because you can adjust your saddle up and down, fore and aft a little too. And you can adjust your stem length, the length of your handlebars, how far out or how close in they are. And if you're between bike sizes, and the bike size difference is really the effective top tube length is, I don't know, 2 centimeters, which would be, oh gosh, I'm thinking hard now, BikeBlogger. I don't want to think right now. I think 20 millimeters. I mean, that's not a lot. You'll feel it though, you know, riding longer distance, you'll definitely notice that. But I mean, a short distance, you may not even notice it. So in that case, it's kind of a wash, which bike size you go with, kind of personal preference. In terms of what it might kind of feel like riding a bike that's a little too small or a little too big for you. If the bike's a little too big, but you know, you still fit it good enough, let's say, it's gonna feel pretty stable. It's gonna be like, the maneuverability is gonna be very grounded feeling to your body. If you got a smaller bike, it'll feel a little more squirrely. A lot of this will also have to do, of course, that's adjusted by the fork and the fork rake and all these other things I'm not getting into. But if the bike's a little too small, it will, I don't know. Personally, I think it'd be more fun to ride. I like a little smaller bike. Like I'm riding a 50-50 or a 55 centimeter long bike right now, top tube. Usually I ride a 56, which is pretty typical for my height, overall height. But yeah, you can't, not everybody can just go by overall height. So important thing to watch out for is, you know, how tall, how long your arms are, how tall your torso is versus your, oh yeah, and I guess I should elaborate just a little more. Let's go this way. Let's see, can I sneak down this way? Nobody over here? Okay. If your arms are a little longer than your legs, then you can stretch out more. And if you're between bike sizes, let's see, what would I do then? Let's go up over here. I might go for the bigger bike size then. If my torso is, you know, if I have more stretch already, then I'll be fine. Because otherwise I could run into trouble if I got a bike that's really too small for me. So I would definitely go, if your upper body is longer than your legs, I would go for the bigger bike. If your legs are longer than your, you know, your arms, your torso, or whatever, your upper body, I don't know, not getting very anatomically technical here, but if you have long legs, I consider the smaller bike. You know, you can raise your saddle more. Of course, like I said, if you raise your saddle too much, then now you're getting more you're getting more aero or whatever, I guess. So it really depends on you, what you may want to do, but I think we'll leave it there. Thanks for coming along with me on this bike ride to work today. We'll see you in the next video. Leave your comments in the comment section below. We'll try to answer them for you. Peace.